All right. Hello, Joe Bernstein here. I'm here with Yemi. Yemi and I just wrapped up working together for about 6 months, and I love the guy. He blew me away with the ways he's changed and grown and shifted and all the amazing creative projects, professional projects, the way he's changing his love life and his relationships with family, kind of blows me away. So I want to take a moment and highlight his success, showcase what he's done and what a badass he is in creating the life that lights him the fuck up, and and talk about some of the things we did together too. So Yemi, what's up, dude? Tell tell the peeps, whoever might be watching this in the future, just a little bit about yourself, who you are, what's lighting you up in life right now, just to give us a basic idea of yourself.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, glad to be here. Glad to be talking about how I've been working with you. So my name's Yemi. I am a civil engineer in the city of Rockville, and I'm senior engineer there, review plans. I do have a huge creative side, so I've dived really far into that with Joe's help. I'm learning to play piano and taking lessons right now, and I've been wanting to do that for a very long time, and I'm really enjoying it. And even this week felt like, man, this is hard, but it keeps pulling me back, keeps intriguing me. So I'm going to give this the work it needs to grow. Also, a certified coach, building my own coaching business. That energy came from quarantine. That energy came from working with Joe, and meeting him was like the perfect precursor to like making that happen. So it's been a blessing. Those are the two of the biggest things that are lighting me up in life. Also, growing in love and intimacy in my relationship, just diving into like the paradoxes of being a human being and getting closer to myself, getting closer to my girlfriend. So loving that too, and engaging with that every day. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for that intro. It's pretty dope intro. All right. What was going on in your life, in your world, in your work, in your whatever, whatever your relationship, all the things that we looked at and worked on. What was going on before we met? Just paint a picture, if you will, in a couple of minutes.
So before we met, I had just transitioned to this job that I have now, and that came off of a year of several job changes. So it was kind of like it was a good landing, but I was also like, I don't necessarily want to be back here, but glad to be eating, glad to be able to survive, and really prioritize that while also building, a future for myself. I had just, I think I had entered about a year plus with my girlfriend, and came off of a good like Christmas holiday. We had a lot of like gift giving together, which was like a nice like intimate activity we did. We spent a lot of time and energy on it, and when we gave the gifts out, people were like really grateful and like really thankful for receiving them from us. So that was that, and kind of came off of I thought about this. I came off of a moment of starting to realize I was building myself up, like getting to the gym more, taking my own like spiritual and self work practices more seriously. And I was like, think I think I'm gonna need to reach out to somebody because I was in a moment of starting to rely on other people, and like my headspace was right there to be like, all right, I need to find someone to work with. I need someone to help.
Yeah. So you were already in a spot where life was actually growing, getting better. Your job is stable, you're doing good, you're excited, but at least about income that's keeping you sustainable. Um, your social life's growing, your relationship's good, you're starting to work out more. Um, and you're at a point where you said, all right, well, maybe it's time to start working on with someone. That to me is like my ideal person I love to work with. When someone's needing to kind of like up level in life, I love that too. But when someone's in a place where they're really taking care of themselves and they say, now's the time to leverage this, now's the time to push the pedal to the metal, if you will, not in speed, but in like depth and richness and love and
Right.
power, that excites me. So what wasn't working, and what made you think like, all right, it's time for more help?
There was a lack of creativity. There was creative energy and kind of like creative juice, but I needed it to go in the direction that was like most magnetic for me. And then there was also this sense of, I mean, like you said, the job was fulfilling in that I'm staying afloat. I can eat. I'm pretty safe and secure right now, but this isn't super fulfilling. And like, I want that fulfilling, meaningful, daily, wake up and go to kind of work. And that's that's what I needed help kind of uncovering and getting to. And we got there, and I'm continuing to go there. So those two things in particular. I also was like, I was diving into intimacy. I was trying a lot of things in my relationship, but I also knew that I just needed some clarity, and probably some clarity on like me, and clarity on like what I wanted, how I wanted to show up. And it was, I needed to like kind of clear out the fuzz, clear out the murk, and like really see it as far as like what I wanted to create versus like this is just what it is, and like all right, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were in a place where life was pretty good, but a lot of it you were kind of consuming. Like, all right, I got this job, pays me well, it is what it is. You're not excited. Meanwhile, it's hard to find time to do a lot of your creative projects that you love, that really are what light you up. I just knowing you, I know that's what you're about. It's like creativity, movement, fun, like and excitement, right? And music. And you have a good relationship, but I remember you were starting to read more books about intimacy and attachment styles, right? Which again, another thing, I love it when like people are like, I'm reading books on love. I'm like, yeah, come on in the door. Let's do this. Because that tells me you're already a student, right?
Yeah.
Time to go, all right, how do we become the scientist? How do we experiment to make life better, be the creator? Beautiful, beautiful. How are you? And so there was things you wanted in intimacy, and you were smart enough to realize maybe it's not just the way it's supposed to be. Maybe there's things I can do to look at me to get more clear in me.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking like relationships just are this way, and this partner just is who she is, right? And it's her problems, right?
Right.
Or his problems, or whoever, for the people who might be listening. And essentially, you decided it's time for me to do the work to really understand my own style of intimacy and the way I show up. Is that right?
Yeah. I definitely had to focus on, how I was coming to the table, what I was bringing, and doing that makes it a lot easier to like be.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
It just, you get your mind off of another person or other things that aren't lighting you up or pulling you in, and you're just focused. You allow yourself to let like life kind of grow and like bloom into like one or two or three choices versus like focusing on all of the possibilities. It's liberating when you do less. It's liberating when you get clear. It's liberating when you feel freedom in like a commitment to self and a commitment to another person. So
Yeah, totally. So there was a liberating experience by actually cutting off some of the options and getting clear and focused on what was really important. Beautiful. I love that. How are you like generally feeling about your life before that? I know you weren't like depressed or down in the dumps, but what would you say? How would you say you were feeling at the time?
It wasn't super fun. I mean, like last year, I had like several job changes, and it was kind of up and down for a little while. Like I did a meditation retreat, which was insanely awesome. And I would do it again. But a lot of my mental space was on my relationship and my job, and like, okay, where is this going? Because like I don't feel super fulfilled. I feel like I'm surviving and I'm like growing and learning, but things feel like they're sort of moving in circles while I'm moving forward versus, I know it's not a linear path, but I wanna enjoy the ride and actually like be kind of putting the step before me versus like kind of hopping into darkness and hoping to like land on something.
Right. So you were doing a lot of work to grow your life, but you still felt like you were surviving more than thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you noticed that you wanted to figure out, okay, I want to get more specific and strategic and thoughtful about how I'm doing this growth work and how I'm creating change. Beautiful. Yeah. Cool. So why was, in like a sentence or two, why was that the time? That was like what, January 2020 of this year. Like why was that the time to start working with someone?
I had been in the mindset to start because I mean my life has been a lot of like self-reliance, a lot of independence, like I can do all these things myself. And I think I even remember telling you like throughout our work, like I had this idea about loving my girlfriend. I was like, I can love you all by myself. And even saying that out loud made me go, I need to like reach out to people. Like this is ridiculous, man. Come on. And like it was just the time to like, you know what, we're gonna trust it. I'm gonna reach out to someone and I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
now it's done.
It's funny, we laugh a lot. Like I remember a session where I was pushing you pretty hard on some of the weird patterns you have in intimacy.
Yeah.
We were still laughing about it, and it was like breakthrough and breakthrough and like some deep stuff, but we were having a good time, and I was seeing that big smile. I love that.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love it, and so that makes sense why you right now is the time. And so coaches, you're certified as a coach, and there's 875. Anyone who goes on Facebook right now, there's 875,000 coaches in your feed, like in this moment, and so
Yeah.
there's a plethora of people out there to help you. I'm honored. I'm honored. Like I am literally like, it was perfect that we hooked up and that we worked together. So I'm honored. But what at that moment helped you decide like this is the guy out of all 875,642 people who are messaging me on LinkedIn every freaking day? Because maybe that's just me. Like I might have a little might be a little bitter about the way people try and create business on LinkedIn. But anyway, so why'd you choose me? And I'd like you to think about how it serves you and not just like, oh, good beard and stuff like that. That's a joke.
I mean, that was one of like the top things. Like,
Top thing is good beard. Good beard.
Beard game. I gotta work with him. I reached out to my old friend Danya, and in my head I was like, okay, she works with coaches all day, and like I'm in the coaching world, I'm still getting deeper in. Like, let me ask her. Like, she's gonna know someone like right away, and like immediately, like, I know a guy that you would connect with very well, and like I had seen your website, I was like, that looks pretty cool. I don't know who to choose, and as soon as I got the recommendation, and like we had the call, the authenticity just like came straight through. I just hearing you talk about agreements, hearing you talk about like creative versus consumer, something was just clicking. I was like, man, I gotta. There's something here for me. There's something here I have to learn. There's something here I have to like experience because this is going to be a huge growth spurt. Um, and on top of that, you just seem so real. You seem so like grounded. This guy like knows. Yes. Okay. I want to work with him.
Thank you. I feel so good. I got that last night. I met someone at a virtual happy hour last night, and they're like, "You're the realness." I'm like, "I guess." I'm like, I think we all are real. Like, I haven't met a hologram yet, but whatever. I get it. I appreciate hearing it, and I do. I work hard on just being the most real I can be and not pulling punches.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I love helping people feel more of that grounded power that they see in me because that's such a beautiful way to walk through the world. It actually makes life easier. So what I want to know now is in the time we work together in this crazy freaking year, we started in January 2020.
I know.
2020.
I know.
What an insane year.
I know.
What have you created for yourself? What changes have you created for yourself? Because literally, when we wrapped up or did a wrap-up session like last week, you're like, dude, my life, your insight was like, I'm lit the fuck up about life. So what specific changes were results of your hard work? Like I facilitated, I helped, but like the hard work you put in, what changed? What's better or different now?
Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind is that idea we just both talked about, the being grounded, is there was this sense of like a low, slow, like fire in my belly about the life I'm living. I'm like, I have not had that before. Or if that's been there, I haven't felt it, but now that it's there, like I gotta maintain that. I gotta keep that going. Like that's huge for me. That's the top thing. That's the other things that have changed are like, I mean, the whole piano lesson thing. Like I'm creative. I like music. I like art. I was a DJ. Like I still am a DJ. I love dancing. Dancing will always be my first love. There's no question about that. But I love this. Like it really is like a magnetism with the piano, with like creating music, with learning how to do this. There's like almost like I'm playing keys and like writing a story internally every time I hit a note. And I need to keep writing so that I can compose like a whole piece of myself. I want to be really good at this, and it keeps pulling me in. And other things that I do creatively have just kind of fallen away. But I also know this is the choice I wanted to make. So that's a big change. Chasing the coaching career, I remember reading a book called Essentialism a long time ago and realizing that I wanted to go through all of my own individual choices and like pare it down so I could choose one. And this year it just became very clear. I was like, this is me. Like this set of skills, like coaching, like showing up for people, like that's who I am. And I don't need to do anything else to figure out what I'm best at. So I'm just gonna beeline for that. Along with that, just like being able to handle life daily better, realizing, yeah, there's ups, there's downs. It's a big paradox, and it's awesome. I learn from it all the time. I grow from it constantly. There's always an opportunity to get better at things, even when it's painful. And I can face it. Like having you in my corner, like having you on my side, like pushing and nudging and going like, hey, what about that over there? Like it's been a huge blessing. It's grounded me. It's been super helpful, and like I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I really am inspired by that. So you're a very creative person, but I remember you weren't making a lot of time for creativity in your life. Now you are, and you've committed to learning a new instrument, which is really having you excited. You feel committed.
No.
And you have totally chosen to go all in into going after the next career, to start to build the current business while you're still in your stable career. And how long, let me ask you this, when did you get your coaching certification?
So I thought about this today. I was like, holy crap, how long has it been? I got it in 2017, November. Okay. Yeah, so it's been a while.
3 years. So 3 years of having been trained to do something that you believed you wanted to do, because you invested a lot of time, energy, and money to get trained to do it. And 3 years later, now you're like, okay, I have what it takes to go after it, and I'm going.
Yep.
That, I love that. I love that. What helped you be able to do this, be able to step into choosing to make time? Because this is actually about a choice, like making time for creativity and valuing that. And I know that you've been working harder on your body as well too at this time period. What helped you make these choices to dive all into the coaching business creation, which you're already working with people, and what helped you choose to like really prioritize creativity, et cetera?
It's something in between a feeling of momentum and building and this like just this pull, this like it's almost like I've been pushing myself around for my entire life, and suddenly this thing pulled me in this direction, and I was like, okay, I don't want to resist this. Like this is this is what I want, versus trying to push myself into things that I thought I wanted. There was like it was clear that this was the right choice. This was the choice that I should make right now in this time, and this magnetism is it's just so strong. Like I not only could I not ignore it, I was like, I want to engage with this daily. I want this to be hard. I want it to meet this challenge. I want to grow here. And again, that momentum of like working on my body and like this like November, December, and then like continuing that into January this year and like working on myself just kept showing me like, dude, you've got this, dude, you've got this. Okay. There's no going back. I'm super capable of this. I can do this. I'm going for it.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So you went from feeling like you were trying to force yourself into a decision of what to do with life and creativity, and if you want to start coaching or what the next, because you had many ideas for businesses.
Yeah.
Like I remember you're like, I got all the ideas.
Yes.
What happened? And maybe it was something we did, maybe it was something you did on your own. What happened that helped you shift into clarity? Because like so often that's what people say, like, I don't know what to do next. I feel stuck in patterns. I'm not sure what choices to make. And then they let that sit on the back burner for years sometimes. Like, what helped you find that clarity? That's what I want to know. Maybe it'll help me in this. Like, I'm serious.
You know what? There was like this sense of, all right, I'm tired of not being clear. Like I'm tired of not knowing. I'm tired of not taking the chance, and uh, I'm pretty important, and I have found, and maybe that was partly like the relationship making me realize like how much value I had and how important I am, and like how that specific thing is really important for me to maintain and build to have an even better relationship. That I was just like, all right, I know I'm pretty self-reliant, I'm pretty organized, I can do this. I know I've like put this up on the back burner for a long time, but I just there like now is the time. And on top of that, like we have this quarantine that's been going on, and like there was nowhere else for the energy to go. So I was just like, well, this is what I really want. So I'm going to put it in this direction. I'm not going to spend time believing I have to wait or finish other things or like meet other expectations. Like I'm going to do me and focus on that, and I'm going to have fun with
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and I remember the values work we did and the emotional competence work we did, as I call it, like really kind of gluing things together for you
it.
in many ways.
Yeah,
You mentioned your relationship, and I want to ask this too, without having to share any specific details that don't feel right. Like, what's changed about you in intimacy? What's different?
you know, I have become more comfortable and confident with it, and it's I've gained the ability to look at it as more valuable than not. Like I've gained the ability to see it as something that I actually do want and go, okay, there might be fear here, there might be like, me backing away, but like I actually want that. So if I just get comfortable with this sort of like weird shift of I want this, but it's scary, I can actually sit with it and benefit from it. On top of that, I just started to realize how I show up with it, and like that was pretty powerful to be like, wait, I'm doing this really well. I'm doing this right. I still need to grow. Like there's things I need to recognize, and I can dive into that and like raise my hand and go like, hey, I've got stuff to learn. Like I'll learn it right now. And all of that together sort of made me realize like I have more capacity for love than I knew,
Mm,
and I want to capitalize upon that because why not? Why not love better, be more intimate, and like be excited about that? Even on the days it's hard, it's sort of like that's what I'm looking for. So uh, I'm gonna keep moving in that direction.
yeah, I wish I had a mic right now because that shit would just, okay. That was amazing. No, because really what I heard you say is you had beliefs around love that you knew you wanted love and relationship, but you weren't really sure if it was worth it. And you knew you're a great dude, but you weren't sure if you were really good at relationship or intimacy or truly, truly like profoundly lovable.
Yeah.
And now you know relationships are worth it. They're not supposed to be pretty all the time, but all the deep hard work and all the joy is worth it.
Yes. Yeah.
And you are inherently extremely good at intimacy if you want to be. You can keep learning and you're extremely worthy and lovable.
Yes. All those things. Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm so excited for you because that's like, I think about what I want for clients, and in many ways, you really have exceeded my expectations of what someone does in 6 months.
It feels like it's been a whole year, dude.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, and it felt like 2 weeks for me. Like I didn't want to. 6 months, I was like, no, no. Uh, kind of like, yeah. So kind of the last thing, 'cause I had another question about what's lighting you up, but I guess I put that up front. So the last thing really is I want to ask is, why would you recommend someone else invest their time, energy, and money in a coaching relationship, a transformational relationship, working with me for their own growth in their own life and to help them be lit up? Like, what would you tell them? If someone's like, should I work with this guy? I heard you did. Like, what would you say to them?
I would say, if you're ready to grow, if you're ready to challenge yourself, if you're ready to be the man, woman, person that you truly want to be, that part of you that's like you're afraid to really admit to, but want to ultimately commit to, like Joe's the guy to get you there.
Wait,
Like
the part that you're afraid to admit to, but you really want to commit to?
we want to commit
Oh, jeez, I'm feeling that one. Oh,
to. Dang it.
that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. You know, I really feel honored to hear that. I might have cut you off. Was there anything else?
Yeah, no, I just like you're authentic, you're grounded, you're fun, like you're smart, like you're engaging. You don't hold back. Like you're really yourself, and like you also hold this space to be like safe and like inviting and comfortable. And you like push in a way that like you're not pushing. It's weird. It's like I always felt like, man, this is hard. He's like pushing me, but like it's like he's not. It's almost like he's really getting me to push my. Damn it, Joe. God, he's good at that. Like, I would come away from the coaching session and I'm like, I can do this. This is so awesome. And I'd get back to the next session and be like, okay, cool. I'm so glad I'm here. All right, this is like the best part of my week. This is great.
That's cool.
Yeah, working with you has been incredible. It's been awesome.
I'm just going to take it in. Thank you so much. Well, you know, I really appreciate you. I hope that people who are watching and listening to this get some insights for themselves, whether they want to work with me or another coach or not, that they can really help them grow and change. Some of the things I heard that were really powerful was like when your life is good and stable, it's a great time to look at how do I then pivot the ship and really take it to where I want to grow and go over the next several years. How do I turn the trajectory? That to me is a bold choice because so many people are like, hey, life's fine. I'm fine. And then they only want help when life's fucking shitting the bed and falling apart and on a dumpster fire, right? And then the other thing I heard was really like you chose deeply that you didn't say this, but you could have it all. You could have a professional business that lights you up. You can have love relationships that really light you up that you know are worth it and are amazing. And you can follow creative pursuits that really light up your soul. And you can take care of your body in the process doing it as well, doing it. So that to me is amazing. It's about deep inquiry. I love that part where you said right at the end there, like the thing that you really want that you may not want to admit to, but you know you want to commit to.
Yeah.
That right there is such a powerful moment because people listening, think about it. You know you have something like that in your life. There's parts of your life that are amazing and there's parts of your life that are incongruent. And it does take the choice of committing to it and owning it and stepping in and getting help. I do it every day. There's times where I've had 3 coaches really at once, you know? So anyway, thank you, Yemi. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Final thoughts or anything as well, too?
Yeah. I, I feel honored to work with you, man. I feel blessed. I feel like the relationship we developed is deep, it's strong, and like I look forward to continuing it. And I look forward to like remembering that this is the place that I started to really grow.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
I really appreciate you. I love what you're up to in life. You're a pleasure to work with. You're inspiring because you really have that you know that kind of academic intelligence that you apply really well to be great at your work, but then you really have that embodied and spiritual and soulful presence as well too, to do all these creative endeavors. And that's just, you know, you're just a joy to be around. So thank you so much, and thank you for doing this and helping me out and helping people see what's possible in great coaching work.
Definitely.
So really appreciate it, and have yourself an awesome weekend.
Thank you, Joe. You too.
Bye, everybody. All right, so I'm going to wrap that.